Hi, today we are going to talk about the supposedly cursed Hungarian suicide song. This song, called Gloomy Sunday, was written by, and bear with me, I do not know any Hungarian, so I'm going to definitely butcher this name, Rezo Ceres in 1933. And he wrote this the very day after his girlfriend had broken up with him for not being successful. Now, coincidentally, it was this song that got him success, but he wasn't able to get back with her. This song is allegedly tied to 200 suicides, or possibly 100. I've seen both numbers thrown around. And this song has become somewhat of an urban legend as being cursed and will cause you to commit suicide if you listen to it. So 18 deaths happened in Hungary and were attributed to this song only a few months after it was released. Among these suicides was a shoemaker who left a suicide note that had lyrics from this song, and a group of people that were found drowned holding onto the sheet music. The songwriter, Ceres, as well as his girlfriend, did commit suicide as well. Although Ceres did so in 1968, so this was like 30 years after he had written the song. It was also rumored that the poet Lazio Havor, who rewrote the lyrics after Ceres, also committed suicide, and so did his ex-fiancée. Both of these deaths, however, could not be proven since no one knew who his ex-fiancée was, and some reports say that he died of a heart attack instead of suicide, and his death took place 20 years later. This song was also recorded in English, which further increased the number of suicides that were attributed to this song. And the BBC banned the song out of fear for these allegations. And supposedly it was eventually banned in Hungary, but the article that I found said supposedly. So I guess there's no actual proof that it was banned in Hungary, and I would assume then that it is no longer banned there. It was never banned in the United States, but many outlets refused to play it. Now, when talking about this, it's important to note that there are different sets of lyrics to this song. The original, by Ceres, was about the horrors of war, death, and a loveless life, which was fitting to the time that it was written, because the Great Depression was taking place then. It is thought that Ceres wrote this about his time that he spent in a concentration camp and about his mother's death that happened in a concentration camp. Now, these lyrics could have spoken to the suffering from the effects of the Great Depression and World War II, and have sparked this feeling of despair and that life would never return from the bleak, full sorrow state that it currently was in. However, Havor soon after rewrote the lyrics to make it about the depression of losing a loved one, and this version could give validation to anyone who was already contemplating suicide. And these were the lyrics that quickly became what everyone thought of this song, and they pretty much forgot about the original lyrics about the sorrow of death. This song was also made popular by Billie Holiday, who also rewrote the lyrics somewhat in 1941. And this version was about committing suicide in order to be with her dead lover. However, this version also added on an extra verse at the end that was saying that all of the death was just a dream. It's also important for us to note that many of the deaths attributed to this occurred in Budapest, which is known for having one of the highest suicide rates in the world. and that this city considers suicide to be a brave form of escapism. Now, my personal take after listening to the original Hungarian version as well as Billie Holiday's version, I have to say that I agree with BuzzFeed Unsolved in that there's absolutely no curse on this song. However, this isn't to say that the song can't play a role in someone ending up committing suicide. When it was released, people were already depressed and were dealing with a lot of baggage. Hearing a song romanticize the idea of ending your suffering sounds nice. So if you're already thinking about possibly committing suicide and then you hear this song, it might be just enough validation in order to push you to take that step. And although I prefer the version by Billie Holiday, there's a strong emotion carried through the original version that actually gave me chills when I listened to it. That said, I do want to point out a line from the lyrics that Billie Holiday added. I wake and I find you asleep in the deep of my heart here. These lines express that her lover is dead, but that he sleeps within her. She does not need her own death in order to rejoin with him because he's there with her, or at least that's how I take it. In that sense, I think that her version of the song is actually speaking out to tell people that suicide is not the route that they should take. So no, I don't think that this song, really in any form of it, but definitely not her version, was ever intended to validate suicide or cause you to commit suicide. And there's definitely not a curse placed on the song that has the power to suddenly make you commit suicide, especially if you were not already contemplating it. But that's not to say that this couldn't be some sort of trigger for issues that you are actually dealing with. Now, I would play the song for you, but because of copyright, I'm not going to do that. But I did provide a link for the original and for the Billie Holiday versions that you can listen to here on YouTube. Let me know in the comments your thoughts on the songs, and let me know of any other interesting songs or movies and such that you would like me to cover as well.